Howdy gamers, and welcome back to another episode of Together We Design, the video series all about graphic design created by designers for designers. I'm your host Anarchy, and on today's episode we're going to be having a short little video today on variety. We're going to be talking about what variety is in relation to art, as well as how to add variety to your work individually as well as a whole as an artist. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So, what is variety? Variety is one of those principles of art that adds interest to a piece of art and refers to the use of different elements in art to provide differences or variety. These elements we talked about a couple episodes ago could be used like the use of curvy text and straight text, the use of opposite colors together, as well as the use of different kinds of shapes and things like that. By mixing certain elements together like this, you add interest and difference to work, so it's not boring to look at, or you're not looking at the same things over and over again. This also rings true on a piece-to-piece basis. You want to make sure that you're using different elements in different pieces, once again, so your art doesn't get stale to look at, and you're creating better pieces overall, and you're making yourself a better artist as well. So now for the easy part. Now that we know what variety is, how do we add variety to our work? Seriously though, a lot of the work I see is often recycled in some way, shape, or form. Once you find a certain thing that you like to do in art, and myself is included in this, it could literally be anything. It could be a certain font, or a certain way of doing lighting, a certain layout, or a certain color correction, whatever it is that you do. Oftentimes, we like to do this over and over again because it looks good and we've gotten it down and we're good at it. Now let's not mix this up with having a certain style, because your style is your style, you do you. But just because you have a certain style you do, it doesn't mean you can't provide variety within that style. So for example, I will use myself. I have on the timeline, I think, a very distinctive art style. Very grungy, dirty. I often imitate sports graphics more than anything. I really like the style of sports graphics. Even though I have this kind of distinctive style, I always find a way to change it up in some way within that style so it doesn't get boring. This could be using different visual elements like topographic lines, letters, shapes, whatever. Changing the way some of these things might be presented, like making them wavy or moving them in different spots. I also use abstract elements that one might not think to use, so like the upper deck player cards for Owl, or skylines if it has to do with the city team, or making sticker effects or whatever that might be. Those are all things that can help provide variety. To keep within the same style, perhaps change one or two things and then experiment with other different elements. That's usually what I do. I usually try to think of something that's like out of the box, something that not a lot of people do, and then I do it, and it provides cool variety to my artwork. The same thing can really be said for style too, except it's on a way bigger scale. Like I said, having your own style is a good thing. It's good to be able to say something is unequivocally you, but you don't want to get yourself burnt out making the same things all the time in the same style. Doing stuff like that is definitely the fastest way to get yourself burnt out. Even if it's every once in a while, it's good to experiment with new and different styles, because doing so will expand what you can do as an artist, as well as it will also help diversify your portfolio and make you look better as well. What I've been doing personally, instead of doing the super grungy style kind of thing that I'm really known for, I've been working with a more streetwear kind of vibe, and it's been really cool to work with. The difference between, I would say, the streetwear style and what I normally do is there's less like paper rips. It's less like super extra grungy, but it's still kind of grungy. It's less like smoke and stuff like that, and more like shapes, text, and typography, and random elements like topographic lines or gradients or stuff, which is stuff that I might not use all the time. By doing this, I'm helping to grow what I can do as an artist and diversify my portfolio, so people who look at my art and may want to hire me know that I'm not a one trick of sorts, if you get my meaning, and that I don't particularly just do one thing and then that's all I know how to do. By providing variety individually and doing it overall with styles is really simple. If you want to know how to do it, just look at some stuff that's different from what you normally do and try to incorporate those elements in new pieces and experiment and see what happens. Really, experimenting is like your best friend when it comes to trying variety and try to find variety. Experiment with things. But anyway, that's gonna do it for this episode. I hope you learned something new. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you get notifications and catch all our new fun and exciting Triumph content. This has been Anarchy. Thank you and goodbye.